The hidden language of the hug. Most men treat a hug like a completely throwaway gesture. To them, it's just a mechanical part of saying hello or goodbye, a quick, polite formality that doesn't carry any real weight. They approach it with zero intention, going in for a split second, pulling away immediately, and moving on to the next thought without a second of reflection. What these men don't realize is that they are walking right past a goldmine of information. A hug isn't just a greeting. It is one of the most honest and revealing moments you will ever experience in an interaction with a woman. In those few seconds of physical contact, the social mask slips. Her body begins to speak a language that is much more accurate than anything she could ever say out loud. She is giving you a real-time update on her internal state, signaling her comfort level, the strength of her connection to you, and the presence of genuine attraction. The real tragedy is that women are sending these signals constantly, but most men are effectively blind to them. They are so caught up in their own heads, worrying about what to say next or trying not to look weird, that they miss the physical data right in front of them. This lack of awareness leads to a cycle of awkwardness. Because they don't know what the moment means, they hug tentatively, they pull away way too fast, or they freeze up like a statue. They treat the hug like a hurdle to get over, rather than an opportunity to connect. When you approach a hug with that kind of uncertainty, you are accidentally sabotaging yourself. Even if you are a confident guy, a rushed or stiff hug sends a loud, clear message of nervousness and insecurity. You think you're just being polite, but she feels a disconnect. This is exactly where things start to go sideways in the dating world. You have to understand that attraction is a two-way street that relies heavily on calibration. It isn't just about the signals she gives you, it's about how you receive and mirror those signals. If she leans in with warmth and you respond by pulling away like you're touching a hot stove, you have just broken the vibe without saying a single word. You've signaled that you aren't on her level or that you're uncomfortable with the intimacy she's offering. That tiny mismatch acts like a speed bump to attraction. It creates a subtle sense of friction that makes the rest of the interaction feel off. Most men never figure out why a girl suddenly seems distant, never realizing it started with a single misunderstood hug. That is why we are going deep into this today. I am going to break down the 4 specific types of hugs women give, stripping away the surface-level politeness to show you what is actually happening underneath. We are going to talk about the physics of the interaction, the pressure, the duration, and the subtle shifts in her posture that tell the real story. Once you learn to decode these patterns, the guesswork disappears. You won't have to wonder if she's just being nice or if there is something deeper going on. You'll be able to read the room with total clarity, allowing you to stay present, stay calm, and respond with the kind of grounded confidence that most men completely lack. By the time we're done, you will never look at a simple hug the same way again. Why physical cues trump words. Before we can even talk about the different types of hugs, you have to understand the why behind all of this. You have to realize why physical touch is the ultimate truth teller in any social interaction. Think about it. Words are cheap. Anyone can rehearse a line, filter their thoughts, or give a polite compliment they don't actually mean. We spend our whole lives learning how to use language to hide our true feelings or play it safe. But body language, that is a whole different story. It is governed by a deeper, more primal part of the brain that is incredibly difficult to fake, especially when you are standing inches away from another person. When you enter someone's personal space for a hug, the social mask most people wear starts to crack. This is why physical cues will always trump words. They are the most honest form of communication we have. When you're in a hug, every single detail is a data point that tells you the real story. The exact length of time she stays in the embrace, where she places her arms, and how much of her body she allows to touch yours. None of these are random accidents. These are direct subconscious emotional responses to how she feels about you in that exact second. If she's feeling hesitant, her body will naturally create a buffer by sticking her glutes out or keeping her chest away. If she's feeling a deep connection, her muscles will relax and she'll melt into the contact. Research in human behavior consistently shows that nonverbal communication carries the massive majority of our emotional expression. So, while you're standing there focused on what she's saying or trying to think of a witty reply, her body is already screaming the truth. A hug is the ultimate truth serum because it removes all the distance, the phones, and the distractions. It puts both of you in a shared space where there is literally nowhere to hide. When you learn to read these cues, you stop living in a world of maybe and start living in a world of reality. You gain a massive advantage because you're finally seeing the play for what it actually is, rather than what you hope it might be. Where men lose the connection now, understanding the signals is only half the battle. The other half, and this is where almost every man fails, is your response. The single biggest mistake men make during a hug is failing to match the energy of the moment. It's a total lack of calibration. Most guys fall into one of two traps. They either rush the hug like they're trying to escape a burning building because they're socially anxious, or they overthink it so much that they hold on way too long, turning a nice moment into something forced and creepy. Both of these mistakes come from the exact same place, a total lack of situational awareness. You have to realize that a woman is subconsciously testing the vibe the entire time. She is paying attention to how you react to her closeness. She is looking to see if you are a grounded, confident man who can handle intimacy, or if you're a nervous wreck who is easily rattled. Are you relaxed and present in the moment? Do you match her level of pressure and timing, or do you break the flow and make it weird? If she gives you a warm, lingering hug and you pull away instantly, you have just signaled to her that you lack confidence or that you're intimidated by her. You've effectively rejected her energy, and that creates a break in the connection that is very hard to fix later. On the flip side, if she gives you a quick, polite greeting and you try to turn it into a deep, meaningful embrace, you've ignored her boundaries and signaled that you're out of touch with reality. You cannot build attraction if you are constantly disrupting the natural rhythm of the interaction. You have to stop looking for one magic, obvious sign and start looking at the context of the entire exchange. Attraction isn't a light switch, it's a frequency. If you aren't tuned into the same frequency she's sending out, the connection dies right there in your arms. To win, you have to stay out of your head, feel the energy she's giving you, and simply meet her there. Level 1, the friendly pat. The most common and misunderstood interaction you will ever face is the friendly pat. This is the hug that usually lasts only a second or two, just enough time to acknowledge your presence before it's over. You'll notice her body leans slightly forward, specifically to avoid full body contact, creating a small A-frame shape where only the shoulders really meet. And of course, the dead giveaway, those 2 or 3 quick, rhythmic pats on your back. To most men, this feels like the ultimate friend zone signal. They feel those pats and immediately think, she's not interested, or I'm just another guy to her. They take it as a soft rejection and let their energy drop instantly. But here's the reality that most men completely miss. They are dead wrong about what this hug actually represents. This isn't a no, it's a safe. It's a signal that she feels completely relaxed, comfortable, and at ease in your presence. You have to understand that attraction doesn't always explode out of nowhere with high-level intensity. In the real world, genuine attraction almost always starts with a foundation of comfort. If a woman feels she can give you a friendly, light-hearted hug without any pressure or creepiness from your side, you have just passed a massive, invisible test. You have proven that you are a safe, normal guy who isn't going to make things weird. The fatal mistake men make here is reacting negatively to this hug because they don't feel that spark of intensity, they get distant, they start acting cold, or they mentally check out of the interaction entirely because it didn't feel romantic enough. When you do that, you kill the potential. You've just taken a perfectly good foundation of comfort and demolished it because of your own ego. Instead of walking away, you should treat the friendly pat as a solid green light. It tells you that the door is open. You don't need to force a shift or try to escalate right this second. Just stay present, keep the vibe light, and let that comfort build naturally. The best things often grow from this exact starting point. Level 2, the firm hug. The second type you need to recognize is the firm hug, and this is where the energy officially starts to shift. Unlike the friendly pat, this hug is highly intentional. It's not just a polite social greeting, it's a moment where she is choosing to be physically present with you. You'll feel it immediately. It lasts longer, the contact is more substantial, and the pressure is steady. Instead of that quick tap-tap on the back, her arms wrap around you with a sense of purpose. There is a weight to this hug that tells you she isn't in a rush to pull away. When a woman hugs you this way, she is signaling a high level of familiarity and trust. She isn't just being nice, she's showing you that she values the connection you've built, and she feels secure enough to lean into your space. She is effectively saying, I'm here and I'm comfortable being close to you. The problem is that most men are so used to the quick, safe hugs that they don't know how to handle this extra layer of intimacy. They feel the firmness, they notice the extra second of time, and they panic. Because they aren't used to the shift, they treat it like a friendly hug and pull away way too early. This is a massive missed opportunity. From her perspective, she leaned in, she offered a bit more of herself, and you backed out. It creates a subtle rejection on her end that makes her wonder if you aren't interested or if you're just too nervous to handle the moment. To avoid this, you have to be calibrated to the pressure. When you feel that she is holding on firmly, do not be the first one to break the connection. Stay in the moment for just 1 second longer than you think you should. That extra second is where the magic happens. It communicates that you are a grounded man who isn't intimidated by closeness. It shows you are confident, you are present, and most importantly, you are matching her energy instead of running away from it. By simply staying still and matching her firmness, you reinforce the trust she's showing you and pave the way for the interaction to go even deeper. Level 3, the lingering hug. This is the stage where the energy shifts from friendly to undeniable. The lingering hug is exactly what it sounds like. It's a hug that refuses to end at the socially acceptable mark. In a normal platonic interaction, there is a rhythmic timing to a hug. You both go in, count to 2, and simultaneously release. But with a lingering hug, that rhythm breaks. She doesn't rush to let go. Instead, her arms stay wrapped around you, and you'll notice a brief, heavy pause where neither of you immediately pulls away. In the world of attraction, these pauses are everything. This isn't just a physical gesture anymore, it's a shared moment of stillness. When she lingers, it's a massive sign of trust and comfort. Her body is actively choosing to stay in your personal space rather than preparing to retreat. You might notice her grip soften, or you might actually feel her body relax and sink into yours, losing that stiffness people have when they're just being polite. You might even notice a change in her breathing, a deep exhale that signals she feels safe enough to let her guard down. This is a clear, high-level signal that she isn't just okay with your presence. She genuinely enjoys the closeness and wants it to last. The absolute worst thing you can do here, and the mistake that kills the vibe for most men, is to panic. When a guy feels that extra second of contact, his brain often goes into overdrive. He feels the tension building, gets nervous that it's lasting too long, and he jerks away to break the moment before it gets weird. By doing that, you've just effectively rejected her. You've signaled to her that you can't handle the heat, that you're uncomfortable with intimacy, or that you're too socially anxious to stay present. To handle this correctly, you don't need to do anything fancy, you just need to match her stillness. Don't pull away first. Stay calm, keep your breathing steady, and just exist in that shared silence. When you can sit in that lingering moment without fidgeting or rushing to end it, you are communicating a level of masculine confidence that is incredibly rare and highly attractive. You're showing her that you're a man who is grounded, present, and perfectly comfortable with the tension of the moment. Level 4, the intimate embrace. Now we reach the final level, the intimate embrace. This is the ultimate signal that the connection has moved into a deep, emotionally present, and highly attracted territory. This isn't a casual greeting, it's a full-body experience. Unlike the other levels, an intimate embrace involves her leaning into you completely.